whoa. Get out the way, get out the way, get out the way, yeah. Get out the way, get the fuck up on my way, yeah. Win.
Welcome to Millennial Sport Talk, and this is our episode 6, Hot Takes. And we're talking about the NFL this week. So at this point in time, the NFL preseason is a wrap. It's over. We have all the information needed to get these hot takes ready to you. And we're going to start in the AFC North. We're going to go division by division, and I'm going to give you 2 hot takes for each division. So without further ado, let's get started with the AFC North. Ben Roethlisberger hasn't had enough reps. He's rusty. We lost Martavis Bryant. How will Juju be his number 2? Hot takes got to be Ben is going to have one of his worst years to date. Hot take of the AFC North. One last take for the AFC North. Cleveland Browns, the dirty Cleveland Browns. Yes, we know how sorry they are, but this year they have a new quarterback. They have a new offensive coordinator. They have a new defensive coordinator. Yes, we know Josh Gordon is not playing the first game. Yes, we know Michael Kendricks is now no longer a Brown, their best linebacker. But guess what? They're still going to win 8 games. This is the Browns' year, and their year is mediocrity. That's their best year is mediocrity. Give it to them, 8-8. Chalk it up. So hot takes of the NFC North. Here we go. Aaron Rodgers will not finish the season. He made $140 million. Who knows the number? It's a boatload of money. And he will get hurt again, and he will not finish the season, and we will question Aaron Rodgers. The bad man he is will not finish the season. Here's my hot take on the Bears. The Bears have figured it out. Leonard Floyd, Roquan Smith, Tyreek Cohen, them boys, the Bears, they're ready to go. They're ready to roll. The Bears will win 8 games this season, and they'll barely miss out on the playoffs. They might go 9-7. I think they could have potential to go 9-7. That defense is for real. They have a for real home field advantage. The problem is the Vikings and the Packers are still going to take some games from them. But the Bears will not finish last in the NFC North. Hot take for the NFC North. Hot takes for the NFC East. And my first hot take for the NFC East is that the Eagles will miss the playoffs. Eagles are not flying no more. They're the Eagles again, and they will miss the playoffs. A lot of Super Bowl contenders do, or not contenders, champions do this after their championship. They fail to make the playoffs. It happens. The second hot take is going to be the Giants will win the division. Eli Manning makes another comeback after everybody's down on him, and the Giants will take the NFC division. So the support for the Giants rise to the NFC East crown is based off of some of the moves they made. Early on in 2016 season, I guess you can start there. The Giants actually had a really good defense. Last year, without Odell, with the offense as putrid as it was, they had a lot of issues defensively that comes with having a mediocre or less than mediocre offense. But they added Nate Solder for protection. They went ahead and re-signed everybody. I don't think they lost anybody on their defense. But with Jason Pierre-Paul, Eli Apple's maturing, getting better, and La'el Collins, they have talent. And Harrison in the middle, Damon Harrison. The Giants have a great opportunity to take this crown. They should be hungry, and I think they'll do it. So Giants will be your 2018 NFC East champ. I have 2 hot takes left in the AFC East, and the first hot take is that the Buffalo Bills will return to the playoffs for a second consecutive year. Yes, I said it. The Bills will make the playoffs again, and it's going to be because of their rushing attack. No longer do they have to rely on LaShawn McCoy to tote the rock 50 times a game. They have Chris Ivory back there. They have some type of weapon, a new big red zone threat in Kelvin Benjamin. Yes, he's a fat load of tar, but guess what? He can stand there in the end zone and jump in the air because he's 6'5" and catch a football. He can still do that. They rebuffed the defense a little bit after they lost Marcel Darius to Jacksonville. They added Star Lotululi, however you say his name, and Harrison Phillips. They still got with Micah Hyde. They added, and their number one pick, a number 6, Tremaine Edmonds, and I love what his brother's done in Pittsburgh. So I imagine him as a middle linebacker. He's going to be a force. He's going to make a difference this year. So with AJ McCarron as a safety net, I'm not going to rely on Josh Allen. AJ McCarron knows how to game manage. That's all he needs to do here in Buffalo, because they have a great running game and they have decent weapons on the outside, and they're going to have a solid defense. Let's Buffalo Bills circle the wagons, baby, circle the wagons. They going back to the playoffs. Hot take of the AFC East is going to be a really crispy hot take that's been sitting in the oven for quite some time, and that's because you've heard it already, and that's that the Patriots will win the Super Bowl. Let's just be honest. We know that Tom Brady is on that stuff. He's on that slurp juice, okay? That's why he's got this guy falling around everywhere. He don't want to answer questions, but what else are you going to expect? Nothing's going to happen to him. Nothing happened to Peyton Manning. The NFL does not care. The NFL needs Tom Brady because Tom Brady brings them money. He brings them money. He will play, and he will be able to repeat his success at the age of 42 with the Gronkowski newly signed, and they got tons of weapons that they added on with Cordarrelle Patterson, and they have weapons in the running game as well. Sony Michel. Sony Michel is coming into the fold, and he's going to be a very, very useful weapon for Tom Brady. You might want to nab him on your fantasy boards, but besides that, yeah, we know what to expect when it comes to them. So it's not really that hot, but it's like a well done hot take, because it's just crispy. It's overdone. It's burnt, and they'll find a way to cheat and weasel their way into the Super Bowl. So just bet on it. Just bet on it. NFC West hot takes might be the toughest hot takes of them all, because we already know what's going to happen. But my first hot take is going to be something that we don't know, and that's that Seattle will finish last in the division. The Seahawks' reign has been over. Let's just be honest. It's been over. They're still a good team. They've been a decent team, but without the leaders, it's over. It's completely over. They will go back to the bottom feeders of the NFC West. Hot take number 1. All right, for the second hot take of the NFC West, bear with me now. Jimmy Garoppolo will have fewer wins this season than he's had in his entire career, which means he has 7 wins as a starter. The San Francisco 49ers Jimmy Garoppolo will win less than 7 wins this year. The 49ers with Jimmy Garoppolo, I see them going 7-9. Realistically, 6-10, and I win. Push at 7-9 if Jimmy G gets all of those wins, all 7 of those wins. I don't deny he's a decent quarterback. On the 49ers, I don't know who he has to throw to. Pierre Garçon is who he has to throw to. He has Pierre Garçon to throw to, and they lost Carlos Hyde. Do you have anything to add to that, Jeremy?
Yes. So the main reason for this type of hot take is the fact that Jimmy Garoppolo touchdown to interception ratio is almost 1-1. Like, this guy has been overhyped because he came in for one of the worst franchises in the NFL last year, and he did okay. he performed adequately. He wasn't great. He wasn't awesome. He didn't throw 16 touchdowns and 4 interceptions like another quarterback the 49ers had, and they let go. No, he threw 7 touchdowns and 5 interceptions and managed to win a couple games at the end of the season when nobody cared about them and nobody thought that it was going to do anything. So Jimmy Garoppolo is extremely overrated, and I would have great pause if I was anybody betting on San Francisco right now, because the roster just isn't there yet to support a quarterback like Jimmy Garoppolo. He may end up being a great quarterback, but as of right now, I don't see it. I think what a lot of the credit that he gets is because of what Belichick felt about him, and he gets that Belichick stamp. But we usually do that for a lot of players, and they end up not being as good as they were or as we thought they were with the Patriots.
Yeah, and I think I'd like to add on to one of your points where you talk about the team around him. Look at the team around him. He does not have a steady running game. Jerick McKinnon is a fumbling machine, and he will get hurt and he will be unavailable. After that, they do not have a recognizable running back on that roster. Yeah, let's just be honest. San Fran has not been relevant in some time, and they will not begin to be relevant this year. AFC West hot takes starts with the Oakland Raiders, their final season in Oakland, and they will miss the playoffs with the Golden Boy John Gruden as their head coach. He will fail to deliver a playoff berth to the great city of Oakland once again. There is no reason to believe that Oakland has what it takes to make the playoffs, other than the fact that the division is wide open. That's the best thing they have going for them, because the best weapon they have on defense, they're talking about trading him, and that's in Khalil Mack. Outside of Khalil Mack, what do you expect out of a defense that doesn't have a front seven? And the only reason why Oakland is even relevant is because Derek Carr had a lucky season where they were able to complete a lot of bombs that they haven't been able to complete since then, and Carr has been injured. And then you look at their defense, they signed Bruce Irvin and Carl Joseph. Free agents do not turn around a horrific defense. I'm sorry. You need to get younger players, like keep the Khalil Macks of the team, and you need to get depth. They can't get depth that quickly, and I just don't see that defense turning around and being able to cover for a very spotty and streaky offense that they have over there in Oakland. So I don't see the playoff contender here. I see the Chargers winning that division, and my hot take is that John Gruden will not make the playoffs in his return to. Second AFC West hot take is that your Los Angeles Chargers will make the playoffs and they will win the division. Why is that? They have a veteran quarterback. They have a great running back. They have weapons on the outside. They have defensive front seven. They have defense at the corner. They have everything you need in a team to make the playoffs. And this is the year they finally put it together. They finally have some sort of consistency at the head coach. They have hope. And I know we say this every year. If they can just stay healthy, they just got to stay healthy. That's it. If they stay healthy, they will be your AFC West divisional champions. Mark it down. Okay, so we're working on the NFC South, and I took a look at some of the history in this division. If you really pay attention, there's only been one team to ever repeat or three-peat in this situation, this division, and that's the Carolina Panthers. Won this division 3 years in a row. Granted, one of those years they went 7-8-1, so they had a losing record and they won the division. I'm not sure if that counts for much, or if that should count at all. If you go less than 8-8 and you win the division, whatever. But the following year, 15, they went 15-1, and of course they started by winning the division at 12-4 in 2013. So the last 2 years have been the Falcons and the Saints. And I think this is the year we get another repeat. The New Orleans Saints will be your divisional winners this year. The Panthers, I could see them making a push, but I just can't see the consistency enough from the defense or the offense to maintain a high enough level, because they're going to need to go at least 12-4 to win the division outright. And I think the Saints have a better chance of going 12-4. They went 11-5 last year. But no, the Saints have the running game. They have capable defense. The Saints will go and repeat as divisional champions. Hot take. Hot take number 2 is that no other team in this division will have a playoff berth. This division had 2 wild card berths last year. This year, they will not get a single berth. And it wasn't a three-way tie. The Falcons snuck in at 10-6. The Panthers are 11-5, and the Falcons were the 6th seed at 10-6. But no playoff berth this year. Only the Saints are gone. All right, so for the last division, we have the AFC South. My first hot take for this division is that your Jacksonville Jaguars will not improve on their 10-6 record. I see them finishing 10-6 once again, possibly worse. I do think they have a good enough team to reach the playoffs, but they got very lucky last year in a lot of those matches, and rolling over from year to year. They will go 10-6 this year just because they're a stronger team, but they will not have the same luck that got them to where they were last year. The 2 games that Jacksonville was lucky with last year was versus Seattle at home. They were very fortunate to win that game. Seattle, obviously, if they played them again this year, they would beat Seattle. But I do think Seattle was very unfortunate in that game. There's a lot of defensive holding and defensive pass interference. The referees refused to call, and it led to one thing to another. And yeah, Jacksonville ultimately won that game. And also the Chargers. We all know the Chargers should have won that game. And I think this year they'll be in better position to win that game if they do face them. I haven't checked the schedule. We'll do that when our next week's our prediction for the entire NFL. But for hot take reasons, Jacksonville 10-6. I see it again. So the second hot take for the NFC South is that Andrew Luck, the chosen one, will not finish this season. He will not play in the last game of the season, and it's because they either want to protect him from getting hurt or he's already hurt. The guy is fragile, and I think he's coming back a little too early. You see him in the preseason. He's holding on to the ball too long. The offensive line still isn't that great. They lost Frank Gore. I think Frank Gore is in Miami now. So, yeah, I think that Andrew Luck's going to have a tough time standing up in the pocket. And if he gets hit, this year, it's going to be really easy for him to get injured again. My hot take is that he will not finish this season. Okay, so that's all we have for this episode of our Hot Take special. Next week, we're going to be doing a full prediction of all the games of the regular season, get you guys ready for the start of the regular season, which will be next Thursday. So, yeah, I will look to have that episode uploaded hopefully by Tuesday. But outside of that, what I do have for you is a special bonus. We have an update for the Game of Thrones. So last time I talked to you guys, I think it was season 5 I was on. But since then, I've now finished season 7. So after seeing everything, my final top 5 hate power rankings and like power rankings are as follows. And these include only characters that are still alive. Because, yes, I still like Tywin Lannister, regardless of what he did. I'm not going to go into that. We'll just talk about people who is alive. So number 1, Daenerys. Daenerys is my number 1. She's my main squeeze. Number 2, I would still put Tyrion Lannister, although I do feel like he's making a lot of mistakes the last season. And then this whole plotting and not trusting Cersei. Yeah, he needs to just. This is the biggest mistake of them all. You can't trust Cersei Lannister, but I'm trusting the fact that in season 8, like they did with Arya and Sansa, how it seemed like they were going to be going against each other, but ultimately they killed Littlefinger together. I imagine it's something like that's going to happen where Tyrion has some type of scheme and strategy that allows them to deal with Cersei and with the White Walkers at the same time. My number 3 is Bronn. And really, Bronn could have been number 2. But I love Bronn. And Bronn's a cool dude. Bronn is that dude. And he knows when he can't win a battle. And he's not going to do stupid things like fight against somebody he can't win against. So, Bronn, that's my boy. Number 4, another one of my boys is Tormund. Tormund the Wildling. Tormund, he reminds me of the crazy dude on Home Alone with the hair and everything. He's just funny. He's a funny guy. He always has crazy faces. And he always has something good to say. And he's a good fighter. So I like that. And Tormund is my number 4 of my like list. Number 5 is a bit difficult because there's a lot of people that kind of tied for this spot. I had Stannis up here. Stannis, I like Stannis because he stayed true to himself throughout the show. People get mad about him for burning his daughter, but if you read the Bible, and not to say that this is directly the same thing, but this is a Lord of Light God who had proven his power time and time again. So when the Lord of Light came to ask for his daughter through Melisandre, from Stannis' point of view, what is he supposed to do? I mean, he did like what Abraham, I think, did and offered to sacrifice his child. What else are you going to do? He wanted to win. They had just been attacked in the night. Their horses were dying. He tried everything he could do. So I don't blame him for it as much as I think other people really fault him for that. My fifth favorite character as of end of season 7, it's got to be Sir Davos. Sir Davos, he's been able to stay true to himself, and despite the Red Woman, Melisandre, despite Stannis, what they're saying, he's always given true to his word advice, and I feel like he's more honorable. I mean, overall, he just puts over Arya, because right now Arya is just kind of weird, you know. Like Arya, she's gone her path, which I respect and everything, but she's just weird. She's just a weird girl. That's all. So she's cool, but she just drops out the top 5 because I mean she wears other people's faces and kills people. Um, I like Sir Davos a little better. So as a recap, my top 5 favorite characters was Daenerys, Tyrion, Bronn, Tormund, and Sir Davos. Forward to the top 5 characters I hate, which is I think a little more interesting. Really, I hate to put Cersei number 1 because I do have a slight amount of admiration for Cersei in that she's cutthroat and she will not give up and she will find a way to win at all costs. And that's what I liked about Tywin. But I still hate Cersei. I just hate Cersei. She's number 1 because I hate her. I hate the way she talks. I hate the way she holds her hands all the time. She's just annoying. Like, she thinks she's above everybody, and she's not. She's really not. I give her credit for being able to have the guts to blow up a septon and killing all those innocent people just to preserve her life and Tommen's life, which ultimately I think is hilarious that caused Tommen to kill himself, which I'm not surprised he committed suicide. I mean, he's a bitch. I mean, Tommen, like, I'd rather have a Joffrey. No. I'd rather have Tommen over Joffrey, but it's not by that much. Like, dude, he was the most pointless and useless king there was. He sat around and did nothing. He just didn't do anything. So, I don't really feel bad about his death. I don't know if anybody really feels bad about his death. But Cersei didn't even weep for him either. So I'm like, what a fake mother she is. She had like she loved him so much. I don't think I saw her cry a tear for him. I don't know. Maybe that's just how they did an episode. But Cersei, definitely number 1 on my list. All right, so number 2 on my hate list is it's the Mountain. The Mountain, he doesn't say much. So it's like, why would you hate him that much? 2 is kind of high for the Mountain. But he's an abomination. Like Jon Snow, he's an abomination. What keeps Jon Snow off the hate list is that Jon Snow's a good fighter. He's good at heart, spirited, blah, 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 blah. But this dude, the Mountain, is an abomination. And he's a cheat code. It's so whack how he's even alive at this point. He should be dead because Oberyn beat him. And then he was going to die anyways because, like I said, Oberyn beat him. But then the mad scientist dude brings him back to life. And now he's over here still alive, season 7. And what makes him worse is he's Cersei's personal bodyguard that makes her close to nearly untouchable. But yeah, no, that's trash. I'm tired of the Mountain. I'm ready for him to die off. Number 3 on my list is Lord Varys, which I was actually starting to like Varys to a degree. But ultimately, he's annoying because ultimately you got to pick a side. And he tried to pick a side Daenerys, but he's already sounds like he's thinking about betraying Daenerys. He's no different than Littlefinger, who's only looking out for himself. And that's not always a bad deal, but it's like ultimately you're gonna have to choose a side. He switched sides. He can't go back to King's Landing. I'm pretty certain he can't. And he's on Daenerys' side, and then he's mad because she burnt Tarly and them. Screw them. They deserve to get burnt. They didn't bend the knee, and you have to show power and strength, and I thought she did a great job. In fact, after he burnt, I would have told my dragon Drogon, eat that motherfucker. That's what I would say, eat him. But Varys, you can't trust Varys. You just can't trust. He always has his self interest at hand. And I mean, everybody does to an extent, but it's just something about Varys. Like, I don't want to go to war with Varys. Do you want to go to war with Varys on your side? No. He's going to betray you. He will. So number 4 on my list is Sansa Stark, and she was number 1, but she's shown improvement over the last couple of seasons. Smartened up. She learned a lot from Littlefinger, but obviously I'm not going to forget everything she's had in her past. Okay, her ditziness, her dumbness. Yeah, she's a slow learner, and I'm still holding that against her. What I'm also holding against her, which I hate to hold it against her because I'm not overly upset at the decision she made, but she claims to be better than Cersei, and this is one of the foreshadowing she said she learned a lot from Cersei. Remember, she said she learned a lot from Cersei, and what did she end up doing? Something that Cersei would do, which is she executed Littlefinger without a trial. Without a trial. Yes, sure, they had evidence against Littlefinger, but you're still supposed to get a trial and allow somebody who's not accusing you of those crimes to be judgment of it, like they did with Tyrion. Cersei wasn't on that panel of 3 judges to determine Tyrion's guiltiness. Now, obviously, you can fix it, whatever, but at least they had the decency to give him a chance. And that's what happened. He actually had a chance. He was imprisoned. He had a chance to get released, and he got out. Now, do I want Littlefinger escaping? No, but he still deserved at least a trial, I guess. I just feel like at least a trial. Nope, he got his throat slashed right, 5 minutes from understanding his crimes or the formalization of those crimes against him. He didn't have a chance to defend himself. So that's more Cersei-like, as we saw with Ned Stark. Well, it wasn't Cersei to kill Ned Stark, but let's just be honest. It's Cersei-like to execute somebody that quickly. She would have done Tyrion that way if she had the opportunity to. And the 5th person I hate the most is Theon Greyjoy. Theon Greyjoy is such a coward, wuss. He took this spot from Samwell because I was going to put Samwell because Samwell's pretty much a coward and a wuss too. But Samwell does have his man parts, and Samwell will step up and take care of the ones he loves. Samuel cured Jorah Mormont, and he figured out the weakness of the White Walkers, and he's even studying now to figure out more weaknesses of the White Walkers, how they defeated them in the first place. So he should have a solution, and he will play a big part in the upcoming season. So yeah, Theon, you let your sister get kidnapped, and this man jumped off the boat. You can't forget that. And then the only fight he actually wins, he wins because he has no balls. That's so trash. Like, get out of here, Theon. He deserves to die for what he did to Winterfell and to the Stark family. And I don't think you can ever forgive somebody like that. He shouldn't be living right now. Get rid of him. So that completes my top 5 hated characters of Game of Thrones by the end of season 7. Number 1, Cersei, of course. I can't change that. Everybody hates Cersei, right? Number 2, the Mountain. Number 3, Lord Varys. Number 4, Sansa Stark. And number 5, Theon Greyjoy.